Who's that? Commander Claw. Who's bad? Commander Claw. Welcome back to another episode of Breaking Brews. I'm your host, Commander Claw, and I'm bringing you Caesar's Legion Emperor from the Fallout pre-con. I forgot the name of it, but anyways, he is a top 25 commander. He's all about creating tokens. He is so flavorful with Mardu because you gotta go wide. You gotta create your army. You gotta attack your opponents, and we're doing everything that synergizes with that. Let me tell you why he's so popular. Because first of all, who doesn't like making tokens? Second of all, who doesn't like attacking? If you don't like attacking, you're probably not winning that many games, especially if you have 2 2s or 3 3s or 4 4s on the board. Hey, don't be afraid to swing and attack and make your opponents block. Don't be that guy or gal. But anyways, let me highlight and maximize the screen on your iPhone, iPad, Android device so we can talk about Caesar's ability and share experience playing with the commander, whether you're new to Magic or old, or you just too old, whatever. Let's get started. So for one in Mardu colors, he's a 4/4 body, legendary human soldier. He says whenever you attack, you may sacrifice another creature. When you do, choose two out of three options here. First one is create two 1/1 red and white soldier creature tokens with haste that are tapped and attacking. Gross. Next up, you draw a card and you lose one life. Okay. Uh, Finally, Caesar's Legion's Emperor deals damage equal to the number of creature tokens you control to target opponent. First of all, let's talk about this. You get to choose two of the three. Two of the three. And the first two feed into the final ability. So you're able to create an army by himself, right? And draw a card and just lose one life. Like you're just doing so much on each combat phase. One reason why he's super popular because he can create infinite combat steps with a breath of fury. That's all you need. Um, Otherwise, you can eliminate opponents by having a large army creature token, like 10 creatures on your side of the battlefield, and when you go to attack, you can use this third ability and just finish opponents off. The reason why Caesar Legion's Emperor is just amazing, top 25 commander, because he gives you options. He does everything that Mardu does, except for it's on one commander, straight up. So let's talk about Tarkir Dragonstorm cards that work well with him. Tarkir Dragonstorm, storm. So, if you don't know the Tarkir Dragon set, Mardu is getting a lot of upgrades, and Windcrack Siege is this enchantment that says, please add me in your deck. So for one red and a white, it's an enchantment. As this enchantment enters, choose Mardu. We're going to be choosing Mardu. Or Jeskai. Mardu says, if a creature attacking causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. This is a replacement effect. So when we go with Caesar's attack trigger, we get 2 instances of it. Bam. Okay. The final ability is Jeskai. At the beginning of upkeep, create a 1/1 red goblin creature token. It gains lifelink and haste until end of turn. We don't care about that. We want to use Mardu so we can use his attack trigger an additional time, and we get to choose a total of 4 out of the 6 options. Come on. Come on. So you got to go to combat. And when you go to combat, we got to create creature tokens. Why not have different strategies for your creature tokens, either aristocratic or combat focused or some type of combat trick? Yeah. Zurgo Stormrender for Mardu colors 3/3 body. Orc warrior, legendary creature. He has mobilize 1. Whenever this creature attacks, create a tapped and attacking 1/1 red warrior creature token. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. Cool. So we get another tapped and attacking warrior coming onto the battlefield, but there's more to this, right? There's more to this. He says whenever a creature token you control leaves the battlefield, draw a card. If it was attacking, otherwise each opponent loses 1 life. So this goes for when he's just sitting on the battlefield and he's not attacking. You have creature tokens that are attacking your opponents, and if they die while they're attacking, you get to draw a card. Or if they just die because you plan an aristocrat strategy or you have an aristocratic package where you sacrifice a creature to do something else, heck, you get to drain your opponent's life. Win, 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 win. Let me tell you. So this card comes from the Tarkir Dragonstorm Commander set. Iron Will Forger for 3 and a white, 3/3 body, creature, orc artificer. He has lieutenant ability. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control your commander, Caesar, if you control your commander, target non-legendary creature you control gains Myriad until end of turn. Myriad is where whatever creature you are attacking with, you can create a creature token of it that's tapped and attacking your opponents. So obviously, if we have Caesar, Legion's Emperor on the battlefield, and Iron Will Forger, we're probably going to target another creature on the battlefield that we want to have Myriad. And we want to have creatures that have ETB triggers or the Saboteur ability. Saboteur is where when you do a combat damage to a player, you get some kind of payoff. That's what that is. Endless possibilities. Let me show you one. So let's say we have Captain of the Watch on the battlefield and we give it Myriad through Iron Will Forger, right? It's a 6 mana, 3/3 body human soldier that has vigilance. Other soldier creatures you control get +1/+1 and have vigilance. And when it enters the battlefield, put 3/1/1 white soldier creature tokens onto the battlefield. So imagine you have that with Myriad and it's attacking all 3 of your opponents. You're making 3, 6, 9 creatures. Gross. Gross. Oh yeah, guess what? They all have anthem effects. So they all get additional +3/+3 because Captain of the Watch bumps up your creature tokens, your soldier creature tokens, and they have vigilance. Now, unfortunately, 2 of them will not survive. Not at all. Because Myriad says sacrifice them at the end of combat. However, there is another Zurgo card that says, I think it says warrior creature tokens don't have to be sacrificed. Yeah, let me know in the comments below. I forgot which one it is. But moving on. So this is my favorite card to recommend to you all for an upgrade. It's a gambling type of card. I'm a gambling type of player in Magic the Gathering. United Battlefront is the card for 3 and a white. It's a sorcery. It says, look at the top 7 cards of your library. Put up to 2 non-creature, non-land permanent cards with mana value 3 or less from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any random order. This is really good if it pays off. For 4 mana, you are possibly getting an artifact or an enchantment that you may need. You may need. I don't know which one it is, but I do have some recommendations if you're playing Caesar's Legion Emperor. So here's a couple examples that are non-creature, non-land permanents. Dodman Gate prevents all combat damage that your attacking creatures would be dealt. It only costs, 2 mana. Next up, we got War Leader's Call. It only costs 3 mana. Creatures you control get +1/+1. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. Okay, next up, Goblin Bombardment. It only costs 2 mana. Sacrifice a creature, deal 1 damage. Oh, guess what? Finally, we have Ashnod's Altar for 3 mana. Okay, sacrifice a creature, add 2 colorless mana. There's a bunch of artifacts that you want to get on the battlefield, artifacts or enchantments that you want to get on the battlefield, and you may not be able to get to them by drawing cards. So why not take a chance with United Battlefront? Smile at Death. What a card name. For 3 and 2 white, it's an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, return up to 2 target creature cards with power 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Put a +1/+1 counter on each of those creatures. I love this card just for the name itself because I believe it's from Aisha Smiles at Death, something like that. That's that commander. And it's literally a electric spiritual version of her on the card. Anyways, at the beginning of upkeep, return up to 2 target creature cards with power 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Put a +1/+1 counter on each of those creatures. There's a bunch of creatures that you would love to reanimate with Caesar's Legion. They're probably like your Aristocrat package or creatures that can just finish off the game. Like Mirkwood Bats, right? It only costs 2 mana. I mean, it costs 4 mana, but it's a 2/3 body. Flying whenever a creature whenever you create or sacrifice a token, each opponent loses 1 life. This card is an aristocratic staple. it just drains your opponent's life and can win you games. The other two are powerful creatures that are legendary creatures that just work well with the commander. Y'all know who they are. Elithial Core, Sadistic Pilgrim, and Commissioner Severina, Raine. Like, come on. Ironically, they only have power 2, so you can easily bring them back on a later turn. Caesars. Emperor Legion Emperor. Cool commander, top 25 commander, does Mardu things. You go to attack, you create creature tokens. Creature tokens die in combat, or you sacrifice them to get some kind of payoff. Drain your opponent's life, deal extra damage, extra combat steps. What else do you want? What else do you want from them? Let me know in these comments below if any of these cards work for you, or what other cards from Tarkir Dragonstorm are perfect for Caesar. Peace out.